Hey, what's going on, guys? Hope everything is going well. I wanted to chime in about this minimum wage law that will be introduced within the next few years for some businesses in New York and California. And in California, assuming that the economy isn't hitting a rough path. And in addition to that, in New York, small businesses with less than 25 employees will have a little more time to comply with the laws. I believe it's phased in until 2022. So it's not going to happen right away that it's going to jump to $15 an hour, but it will happen slowly over time. And there's a lot of support from those individuals who are obviously at the lower end of the scale, who tend to be Bernie Sanders supporters, etc. Now, the way that I look at it is, how will businesses react to the increase in minimum wage? You have to remember that when businesses look at their P&L, right, they have to operate within a budget. If you work in finance or accounting, when I'm talking about finance, I'm not talking about a trading floor. I'm talking about this as if you work under a CFO, if you work under a finance manager, or if you deal with those type of guys, what they care about is, okay, how do we make sure that profit margins continue to increase at the rate that they are? And if they're decreasing, how do we cut costs? Or how do we increase revenues, right? This is not a left or a right issue. This is just how finance managers work. I used to have a boss, actually, who was a progressive, right? He was a moderate Democrat, but he was all about cutting costs. I thought in some cases he was a bit ruthless and a bit crude, but that's just the nature of some individuals. But going back to this, so if a business sees that they have to pay their employees more and they have budgeted X amount of dollars, and now they're going to have to put in more amounts on the salary line towards the direct cost of the P&L, they're going to say, how can I cut costs elsewhere? Are they going to cut their advertising budget? Are they going to cut their salary budgets? Are they going to make some people temporary workers? Are they going to outsource more? These are the questions that they're not going to state publicly, in my mind, that they're going to talk about silently. And another way what they could do is, if you see businesses like McDonald's, and also if you see Taco Bell, they're introducing more kiosks to avoid hiring workers, to avoid hiring human beings. And unfortunately, this is what I see happening, that yes, there will be some people that benefit off of this $15 minimum wage law. You need humans still to do these jobs, but you don't need as many humans if you have, number one, a high cost of labor. You could just replace them with these kiosks. And we've already seen it. I mean, you go to a Walmart, there's a store in Chicago called Meijer. I see the self-checkouts. It's been happening for the last 5-6 years, but it's happening everywhere. It's not happening all at once, but in my opinion, it's going to hurt those individuals who are at the lower end of the scale. And what may end up happening is, you may see small businesses throw a fit, and what they're going to do is they're going to probably give exemptions, in my opinion, to smaller businesses who can't afford these kiosks, or will not spend the money for the kiosks, or their businesses will not allow them to create kiosks, because it's going to take a whole toll on their direct cost part of the P&L. Now, people may say that, hey, this is inflationary, these minimum wage laws. Initially, I feel that it could be inflationary, but I think that inflation from the minimum wage laws will be offset with these kiosks that will be created. And that will control the inflation in my mind. I mean, you can't pay people like $1,000 an hour, right? That's going to create hyperinflation. Even the leftist economists agree with that notion. But I think people understand that it's not going to be as inflationary because you have robots taking over. The inflation that I feel that will happen, and why it will happen, is because you're going to see rates slowly but steadily move higher. You're going to see tax cuts. I don't know if it's going to be happening after this election. I don't know if Trump or Cruz, if they're elected, right, they're going to cut taxes, right? Regardless of whether you agree with cutting taxes, that's going to be a stimulant to the economy, and it will make money that is sitting on the sidelines. It's going to stimulate into the economy through fractional reserve lending, in my opinion. But that's getting way too ahead of ourselves right now. Right now, we have very low interest rates, and when you have really low interest rates, the inflation genie is not going to come out of the bottle yet. And you haven't seen these economies, China, Europe, they haven't blown up yet. So once those blow up, you see a deflationary spiral, then you're going to see the inflation, in my opinion. But anyways, what do you guys think about the minimum wage? Should they increase it? Should they decrease it? And on top of it, what will be the unintended consequences, if any? Thanks a lot. Talk to you later. Bye.